Hey there, fourth graders. So we have been working a lot on word problems, multiplication and division word problems specifically. Today we're going to still be working with division word problems, but we're going to really be focusing in on the remainder. So really quickly, let's review our division vocabulary. Remember, division problems have four different parts. They have the dividend, that's the amount of whatever it is that you start out with. You have your divisor, that's the amount of groups that you're trying to make. You have your quotient, that's the answer in division, but it's also the amount that goes into each groups. And then sometimes you have a remainder, and the remainder is the amount that is left over at the end. And so what we want to do is we want to know, well, what can we do with that information? Specifically, what can we do with the remainder? What does the remainder mean? So let's take a look at some of these problems and see if we can identify the different parts of the problems. So Charlie has $17 to spend on chocolate bars. So that's 17. That's our dividend. That's what we're starting out with. He starts out with $17. Okay. The chocolate bars cost $3 each. So we're going to spend $3 on every chocolate bar that we buy. Charlie buys as many chocolate bars as he can with his money. So we know he's going to do 17 divided by 3, and it's going to equal something. That's going to tell how many chocolate bars he could buy. My answer is the chocolate bars, okay? My answer is the chocolate bars. But if I have a remainder, what does that remainder stand for? Does that remainder stand for the amount of chocolate bars that Charlie buys or the amount of money that he has left over? Well, remember, my quotient would be the amount of chocolate bars that Charlie buys. So in this case, my remainder is the amount of money left over. And I want to tell you that whatever your divisor is, if it's money, your remainder is. Your divisor and your remainder are going to be the same item. Okay. Your divisor and remainder are the same item. So if your divisor is cookies, your remainder is cookies. If your divisor is apples, your remainder is apples. If your divisor is students, your remainder is students. Whatever that divisor is, dividend. Whatever that dividend is, that's what your remainder is. Whatever you start out with, that's what's going to be left over. Okay. Your divisor and your quotient may not be that item, but whatever you start out with, if you have anything left, it's left over from what you start out with. That's kind of a way to remember it. Okay. So in this case, you started out with money. So the remainder has to also be money. All right. Let's look at the second question. There are 13 penguins going on a field trip to an iceberg. I didn't know that penguins went on field trip, but apparently they do. So the 13 penguins, that's our dividend. Now, our dividend is penguins. What's our remainder going to be? Our remainder is going to be penguins. Our remainder is going to be penguins. I can't write very well with my mouse, especially when it's letters. I'm really good at writing numbers with my mouse, but letters takes a lot of concentration. So because our dividend is penguins, our remainder is also going to be penguins. The penguins get into 6 equal-sized groups. So there's 6 groups of penguins. How many penguins will be in each group? That's going to be my quotient. And then how many penguins are left out without a group? Poor little penguins. That's going to be my remainder. So 13 divided by 6. Well, I know 6, 12, right? If I count by sixes, I get 6, 12. 18 would be too many. So I get 2 in each group. And 13 minus 12 is 1. There's 1 penguin left out without a group. Now, what if we're because they're going on a field trip. So what if these penguins are going on a bus and 6 penguins can fit in each bus? How many buses need to go to the zoo? So if bus number 1, scroll down a little bit so you can see this. Bus number 1 can have 6 penguins. So we're going to have penguin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in there. And then bus number 2 can hold 6 penguins. So now we have penguins 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so we have 2 buses. But what about our leftover penguin? Does that penguin just not get to go? No, in this case, we would actually need to add another bus so that penguin 13 can go. Okay, so how many buses would they need to take the penguins? If 6 penguins can fit on each bus, they would need 3 buses, right? They don't need 2 remainder 1 buses. Can you call the bus depot and say, hey, I need 2 remainder 1 buses? No, they would be like, huh? All right. Sometimes when you have leftovers, you actually need to make a whole nother group so that the leftovers are still counted for. You wouldn't want to be that one little penguin that got left behind because the penguin teacher did not order enough buses. So it's important that we think carefully about what the remainder means so that we're able to correctly answer a question. Okay, let's look at this next question. James has 41 apples to make the pie. All right, if we start out with apples, remember our remainder is going to be apples too. He has 41 apples to make a pie. Each pie needs 7 apples, so there's going to be 7 pies or 7 apples in every pie. How many pies can he make? And then how many apples are left over? So my answer is pies, but my remainder is apples. All right. So again, we're going to do our division here. Okay. And 41 divided by 7. Well, let's think about my 7s times tables. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Wait, hold on. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Oop, that's too many. So it was only 5 pies. Okay, that means he used 35 apples. So we're going to have to do, oops, a mistake. I wrote the wrong number. I'm going to have to take how many apples he started out with, 41, and subtract the 35 to see how many apples are left over. All right, so he made 5 pies. And then I'm going to do some subtraction. I have to regroup 11, and this is going to be a 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He would have 6 apples left over. 6 apples left over. Almost enough for another pie, right? How many more apples does he need to make another pie? 1, right? He has 7 apples in each pie. Okay, so you see how we can answer all kinds of questions about a division problem? This is a very simple division problem, but we're able to answer all kinds of questions about it because we know what these numbers stand for. That's what's really important. Let's look at one more example. Okay, I'm gonna add something to this problem, but let's solve it as it is first, okay? So Sue grills 29 hot dogs. 9 people eat 3 hot dogs each. How many hot dogs are left over? Okay, there's 9 people who eat 3 hot dogs each. In this case, that means that every single person, right, person 1 ate 3 hot dogs, person 2 ate 3 hot dogs, person 3 ate 3 hot dogs, person 4 ate 3 hot dogs. I'm seeing repeated addition, so that means I need to multiply. 9 times 3 equals 27. Okay, so how many hot dogs were left over, right? I can do 29 divided by the 9 people, and then I'm going to get that they ate 3 hot dogs each, and we had 2 hot dogs left over because 29 minus 27 equals 2. Okay, do you guys see how I did this one? Because this one's worded a little differently. But they did give us the division problem down here. All right. they gave us a little bit more information here because they gave us the quotient, didn't they? They gave us the quotient this time. So this time, all we had to do was find the remainder. But what would happen if, let's say, that Sue was buying hot dogs and they come in packages of, let's say, they come in packages of 9. We'll keep it with 9. They come in packages of 9. And she has, everybody's going to eat 3 hot dogs. And she has, I'm totally losing my train of thought here. Okay, I'm making this more complicated than I need to. Let's go back to what I was thinking. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I just made an executive decision. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make something up right here. Okay. So let's look at a division problem. And let's say that there are 42 students and you're going in vans to the movie theater, and there can be 8 students in every van. How many vans do we need? If there's 42 students going to the movies and there can be 8 students in every van, how many vans do we need? This is a great example of a time where you can draw a picture. All right, I'm going to draw a picture of a box and I'm going to put 8 students in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. I almost wrote the number 8. So I'm just going to write 8 right here. And then I'm going to do another 8 students here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, I'm going to do another van because we still don't have 42 yet. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, we're getting there. Let's do another one. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. All right, we still don't have enough vans yet. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. All right, do we have enough vans yet? Nope, because we still have 41, 42. Now we have 42 students all in a van. Notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the vans have 8 students because 42 divided by 8 does equal 5 with a remainder of 2. There's 2 leftover students in this last van. So how many vans did we need? We needed 1. Here, let's number them with our marker here. We need 1, 2, oops. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. We're going to just pretend that I didn't just do all of that. I knew it was going to happen. 3, 4, 5, 6. How many vans did we need? We needed 6 vans to take all of the students to the movie theater. So it's really important that you draw pictures to represent what you're doing. Really think carefully about what the problem is saying, what each number represents and stands for, because in division especially, it's so important for you to know what is the dividend standing for. In this case, there's 42 students, so the dividend stands for students. The divisor, the 8, stands for how many students can go in each van. The quotient stands for the amount of vans, and the remainder would stand for the amount of students left over. So in this case, because there's leftover students, we had to add another van. Sometimes that's going to be necessary. Okay, so go ahead and work on your work for your math today. Think really carefully about what all the different parts of the equation mean, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.